Before you buy another pack of supermarket meat, you need to hear this. Across the UK, products labeled as fresh quality and British are hiding dangers most shoppers never see. Some of the meats sold every single day contain bacteria that resist last resort antibiotics. Others come from suppliers caught altering safety records, washing contaminated meat, or exporting chicken, linked to hundreds of hospital cases. These products sit right on the same shelves where families shop without a second thought. And here's the part that may surprise you. Many of the most concerning meats don't come from obscure brands. They come from major suppliers that stock Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Aldi, and other household names. Older adults are especially at risk because even a small exposure to Salmonella or Campylobacter can lead to severe illness, hospitalization, or long-term complications. The contradictions are staggering. Labels promise safety, yet investigations reveal repeated contamination, hidden reports and supply chains that fail to protect consumers. Stay with me, because in this investigation, we will break down the 8 meat products and suppliers you should avoid. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which options are safest for your family and how to choose meat that truly protects your health. For many families in the UK, buying meat has become a routine decision. You walk into the supermarket, choose a familiar brand, check the price, and assume that the food on the shelf has passed strict safety checks. But the reality is more complicated, especially for older adults who face higher risks when exposed to contaminated or poorly handled meat. Despite modern packaging and reassuring labels, the UK's meat supply system has deep vulnerabilities. Much of the meat consumed here passes through large-scale industrial plants, international suppliers, and complex global logistics. Every step from farming to transport to processing introduces opportunities for contamination. And when oversight fails, bacteria like Salmonella, Campylobacter, and E. coli can spread silently through thousands of products before anyone notices. Regulators such as the Food Standards Agency work to monitor safety. But recent investigations show delayed responses, missed warnings, and inconsistent enforcement. One outbreak linked to imported poultry caused hundreds of illnesses before authorities acted. In other cases, factories caught falsifying records or mishandling meat continued operating because the supply chain depended heavily on them. The system is designed to keep shelves stocked, not necessarily to keep consumers fully informed. Marketing adds another layer of confusion. Terms like fresh, British quality, assured, or farm style are widely used, yet they do not guarantee safe handling or ethical sourcing. Some products labeled as produced in the UK were actually farmed abroad. Others hide behind generic brand names that reveal nothing about their troubled suppliers. For older consumers, these gaps can have serious consequences. The immune system becomes weaker with age, making infections harder to fight. A bacteria that might cause mild illness in a younger adult can lead to hospitalization, dehydration, or long-term complications in someone over 60. This investigation matters precisely because these risks are not visible on the packaging. By understanding how contamination happens, why oversight fails, and which suppliers repeatedly appear in safety reports, you can make informed choices that genuinely protect your household. Now let's examine the 8 meat products and suppliers that present the greatest concerns and why they remain on UK shelves today. Two Sisters Food Group is one of the most influential suppliers in the UK meat industry, providing chicken for Tesco, Sainsbury's, Aldi, Lidl, and Marks & Spencer. Many shoppers assume these supermarket-owned brand packs come from different farms, but they all lead back to the same source. Undercover footage revealed workers picking up chicken that had fallen onto the factory floor and placing it directly back on the production line without washing or sanitizing. Investigators also recorded staff altering slaughter dates and falsifying temperature records meant to prove that the cold chain had not been broken. Parliamentary inquiries later confirmed that similar violations occurred in more than one facility, including a scalding tank where 250,000 birds passed through 3 days' worth of unclean water. Contaminated water and floor handling greatly increase Campylobacter risk, a bacteria particularly dangerous for older adults who can suffer dehydration, kidney strain, or severe infection. Because supermarket labels never disclose, the supplier consumers have no way of knowing they are buying from a company repeatedly caught breaching safety rules. This makes Two Sisters one of the most concerning sources of chicken in the UK market. Frozen chicken imported from Poland may look like a convenient and affordable option, but multiple outbreaks have linked these products to illnesses across the UK. A major supplier, Superdrop, was tied to 480 confirmed cases of salmonella, many involving children. British retailers such as Asda, Aldi, Iceland, Lidl, Sainsbury's, and Co-op stocked these products, meaning the outbreak reached households nationwide. When scientists tested the bacterial samples, they found the MCR1 gene, a gene that makes salmonella resistant to colistin, a last-resort antibiotic used when other treatments fail. According to official records, this critical information sat unnoticed in a shared email inbox for 6 months, allowing contaminated chicken to remain on sale. For older adults, antibiotic-resistant infections can lead to hospitalization, blood poisoning, or long-term complications. Yet these imported frozen products are still allowed on UK shelves, and current labels do not help shoppers identify the highest-risk suppliers. This lack of transparency means consumers are left unprotected in one of the most serious food safety failures in recent years. Bernard Matthews, the UK's largest turkey producer, supplies millions of birds each year and is widely recognized through supermarket freezers across the country. Despite its strong market presence, an undercover investigation at its Holton plant documented disturbing issues, including blue plastic fragments mixed directly into processed turkey meat, broken equipment, and poor staff training. This company also has a troubled history. Its facilities faced a major H5N1 bird flu outbreak in 2007 that required culling 159,000 birds. After the documentary aired, the Food Standards Agency conducted an inspection but reported no significant violations, a conclusion many experts questioned given the severity of the footage. Within months, Bernard Matthews reported £10 million in losses and shut down a major factory, a move that raised concerns about deeper internal problems. For older consumers, ingesting plastic fragments can irritate the digestive tract and increase long-term health risks. Yet the brand continues operating multiple sites, and no comprehensive safety measures have been publicly announced. This leaves shoppers uncertain about whether the issues exposed at one plant may still be occurring elsewhere. Perhaps the most alarming case uncovered in recent investigations involves a major UK pork processor whose name remains confidential due to an ongoing criminal inquiry. For more than 20 years, this company allegedly washed visibly rotten pork to remove foul odors, mixed decomposing meat with fresh batches, and falsified laboratory paperwork for Listeria and E. coli tests. The manipulated products were sold to schools, hospitals, care homes, and prisons facilities that serve some of the nation's most vulnerable people, including older adults. Employees told investigators they often received 15-minute warnings before audits, giving them enough time to hide questionable meat by moving it around the facility. The company reportedly maintained 2 sets of records, one real, one fake, for inspectors. Supermarkets such as Tesco, Asda, Co-op, Morrison's, Marks & Spencer, Aldi, and even Subway were supplied by this processor. While the National Food Crime Unit began investigating in 2021, the public still does not know whether the facility is operational today. This secrecy leaves consumers with no way to avoid products linked to one of the largest food fraud scandals in British history. Pork scratchings are a common snack in the UK, particularly among older consumers who enjoy their convenience and long shelf life. But products from brands such as Mr. Porky J's and the Real Pork Crackling Company caused Europe's largest recorded outbreak of Salmonella infantis, with 534 confirmed infections. Some victims were unable to work for weeks due to prolonged digestive symptoms, and many required hospitalization. The factory responsible, located in Bolton, voluntarily suspended production and performed an extensive cleaning process. Yet investigators were unable to identify the original source of contamination, tracing pork rind to 3 different countries without clear resolution. Without knowing the root cause, there is no assurance that similar incidents will not occur again. For older adults, salmonella infections can lead to severe dehydration, blood infections, and dangerous electrolyte imbalances. Despite the scale of this outbreak, pork snack products remain widely available, and no formal public disclosure has been made regarding long-term safety improvements. This uncertainty leaves consumers taking unnecessary risks with a product marketed as harmless. Chicken contamination is a long-standing issue across the UK. But testing shows that certain retailers consistently perform worse than others. Asda in particular has repeatedly ranked among the highest for heavily contaminated chicken, with some samples reaching 7.1% high-level Campylobacter contamination. Independent butchers and small retailers performed even worse, with up to 75% of samples testing positive, and some batches showing contamination levels 89 times above the recommended threshold. Halal chicken also displayed concerning results, with 42% of samples containing antibiotic-resistant strains. Campylobacter is the leading cause of food poisoning in the UK and can trigger severe gastrointestinal illness. In older adults, it can result in dehydration, kidney strain, and in rare cases, Guillain-Barré syndrome, a dangerous neurological condition. Despite rising contamination rates, Tesco stopped publishing its chicken testing results in 2023, the same period when its performance reportedly declined. When major retailers choose to hide data, consumers lose their ability to make informed decisions. This lack of transparency contributes to the ongoing public health risk. Frozen beef burgers are another category where misleading practices have been documented. In 2024, Food Standards Agency testing found that 42% of frozen burgers sold in major UK supermarkets were non-compliant with their label claims. 10 out of 24 tested products contained less meat than advertised, and several had higher fat levels or undisclosed fillers such as starches. These alterations can reduce nutritional value and increase the risk of bacterial growth, as high-fat mixtures retain moisture that supports microbial survival. For older adults, consuming products with hidden fats can worsen cholesterol levels, inflammation, and digestive discomfort. Despite the seriousness of these findings, the FSA did not disclose which brands or retailers were responsible, leaving shoppers in the dark. Without brand transparency or accurate labeling, consumers are effectively gambling every time they buy frozen burgers, even though they appear straightforward and convenient. Many shoppers feel reassured when they see labels such as British produced in the UK or quality assured. However, these terms can be misleading. In many cases, meat only needs to be processed or packaged in the UK to qualify for these labels, even if the animal was raised abroad under different farming standards. Investigations have revealed that poultry from Poland and beef from South America are sometimes packaged in the UK and sold with British branding that implies local sourcing. For older adults, imported meat from countries with weaker antibiotic regulations can carry higher risks of drug-resistant bacteria or residual medication. The lack of clear labeling makes it difficult for shoppers to identify where their food actually comes from. By obscuring the origin, brands rely on marketing rather than transparency. This confusion leaves consumers believing they are buying safer, locally produced products, when in reality the supply chain may include higher-risk sources. Among all the cases uncovered in this investigation, one stands out as the most serious, a food fraud operation so extensive that government investigators described it as one of the largest and longest-running violations in recent British history. What makes this case even more disturbing is that the company responsible has not yet been publicly named, even though the alleged misconduct continued for more than 20 years. According to documents obtained by investigative journalists, this major UK meat processor routinely washed visibly rotten pork to remove the smell, blended decomposing meat with fresh batches, and submitted falsified laboratory results for Listeria and E. coli testing. Staff told investigators that they often received short warnings before audits, allowing them just enough time to hide questionable products by shifting them around the facility. The factory's circular layout was reportedly designed in a way that made it easy to misdirect inspectors and conceal unsafe inventory. The contaminated meat was sold to hospitals, schools, care homes, prisons, supermarkets, and high-street food chains, meaning older adults, children, and vulnerable groups were at the highest risk. Retailers including Tesco, Asda, Co-op, Morrisons, Marks & Spencer, Aldi, IKEA, and Subway were supplied by this processor without any public disclosure. The National Food Crime Unit began its formal investigation in August 2021. More than 3 years later, the case is still progressing toward potential prosecution, but authorities will not confirm whether the company has stopped operating. This secrecy leaves millions of consumers in an impossible situation. They may still be buying products from a supplier linked to Britain's most serious long-term meat fraud and have no way of knowing it. This is the clearest example of how the current system can fail to protect families, especially older adults who rely on safe, trustworthy food sources. Understanding the risks in the UK meat supply is only the first step. The most important part of this investigation is giving you practical, easy-to-use guidance so you can protect your household every time you shop. Many of these steps require no extra cost, only awareness. The first solution is learning how to read labels correctly. Look for country of origin, not processed in the UK or packed in the UK. These terms simply mean the final handling happened locally, not that the animal was raised or farmed under British standards. When buying chicken, check for certification symbols. The Soil Association Organic label provides the highest assurance with strict rules on antibiotics, animal welfare and hygiene. RSPCA. Assured is another reliable sign of better welfare and safer handling. Red Tractor represents basic UK compliance, which is acceptable, but not premium. Products with no certification at all carry the highest variability in quality. The second solution is choosing safer retailers. Independent testing shows Co-op has maintained excellent chicken safety records for several years with no highly contaminated samples. Waitrose, Marks & Spencer, and Morrison's also perform well and publish their results. Transparency is a key indicator. If a retailer hides contamination data, it is usually not a good sign. For many older adults, a local butcher or farm shop can be the safest option. These shops rely on shorter supply chains and can tell you exactly which farm your meat came from. Fresher meat means fewer opportunities for contamination. You can also buy smaller portions, reducing waste and ensuring better quality control. Finally, proper handling at home is essential. Cook all meat to an internal temperature of 75 degrees Celsius and use a simple kitchen thermometer for accuracy. Never wash raw chicken, as splashing spreads harmful bacteria. Keep your fridge at 5 degrees or below. Store meat on the lowest shelf and freeze or use it promptly. These small steps taken together can significantly reduce your risk and help you buy meat with confidence. This investigation shows that meat safety in the UK is far more complex than the labels on supermarket shelves suggest. Behind familiar brands, there are supply chains with weak oversight, delayed reporting, and in some cases, long-standing violations that place consumers at risk. For older adults who are more vulnerable to severe infections and complications, these hidden dangers matter even more. But awareness is a powerful form of protection. By understanding which products carry the highest risks, choosing retailers with transparent safety records, and following careful handling practices at home, you can significantly reduce your exposure. The responsibility should not fall on consumers alone yet until stronger regulations and clearer labeling are in place. Informed choices remain the best defense. Your health and the health of your family deserves nothing less than real safety and genuine transparency. This investigation shows that meat safety in the UK is far more complex than most families realize. Behind familiar labels, there are supply chains marked by weak oversight, delayed warnings, and in some cases, deeply concerning practices that continued for years without public disclosure. For older adults who face higher risks from Salmonella, Campylobacter, and antibiotic-resistant bacteria, these hidden dangers can lead to hospital stays, long recoveries, or life-threatening complications. Yet information is a powerful safeguard. By learning which products carry the greatest risks, choosing retailers with transparent safety records, and following safe cooking and storage practices at home, you can protect yourself and those you care about. Stronger reforms are needed, but until they arrive, informed decisions remain the most reliable defense. Your family's health deserves nothing less. Before we end, I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever purchased any of the products mentioned in this investigation or experienced issues with supermarket meat in the past? Your stories help other viewers stay informed and protect their families. If you want practical, clear reports that focus on food safety, consumer protection, and the well-being of older adults, consider subscribing. It ensures you never miss new investigations that can help you make safer choices every day. Thank you for taking the time to watch this report. Your attention, especially from our senior viewers, is deeply appreciated. Your health and safety will always remain our priority.